a lot of time installing System Center Configuration Manager. We put in our CA, we have our primary sites and our secondary sites, we have inventory data going up, we have configuration data flowing down, and life's pretty good. So now it's time for you to vote. Why doesn't the installation dialog box give you the option to create a CA in an established site running System Center Configuration Manager? Grab your mouse and let's see how you do. And we have people voting, that's good. We have people changing their answers, and that's okay too. But it looks like we're pretty much all on the same page. When you go through and install System Center, if you want to have a central admin site, that has to be the first site that you install. I mean, think about it. If I already have a primary in my environment and we decide that we're going to add another primary, well, unless I've already installed a central admin site, I'm going to have to rip out all my primaries and start over from scratch. That's why planning is so key. And we have a question coming in from Susan. And Susan saying, the reason I missed that question is because I missed the first part of the session. Well, the good news is, Susan, we record all of the sessions. So you can go up into your instant replay and all your sessions are right in there available for you 7/24. A lot of students will use this even for review for sessions that they've already attended. It's available all the time and it's a great resource. When you're dealing with primaries and secondaries, you have to understand that we're using mature SQL Server data replication technologies to get this stuff to flow up and flow down. We use a data replication service, the SQL Service Broker, we use change tracking, and this allows us to gather that inventory data up to the central admin site and push down the configuration data out to the clients. And looks like we have another question coming in, and this is coming from Brian. Oh, Brian wants to be brave. He wants to come on camera to ask his question. So, Brian, if you would, go ahead and enable your webcam and let's see what you have to say.
Hey, Doug. Why can't I see any inventory from the other sites in my environment?
You know, Brian, this is a very common question. Thanks for bringing that up. I have junior admins and they can only see the stuff in their site. They can't see stuff in other sites. So let's go out to my machine here and you'll notice that inside of my devices, I have items that are coming in from London site, my New York City site, my Toronto site. Why can I see everything? Well, I'm actually attached to that central admin site. Remember, when we're replicating information, it flows from the clients into the secondaries, or from the clients into the primaries, or from the secondaries into the primaries, and then they flow up to that central admin site. Everything flows up the replication path to that central admin site. It doesn't flow horizontally at all. So if I'm here in Toronto, I can see all the inventory from Toronto, but I can't see the stuff over from London. And this is where Microsoft is really trying to leverage data security. Unless you have the appropriate permissions and you're in the right replication path, you're only going to be able to see the things that you have the rights to be able to see, and you can only configure the stuff that you're supposed to be able to configure. So, and when you think about it, this makes a lot of sense. If I can go in as a hacker and find out all your hardware inventory, all the software that you're running, it makes it very easy for me to find those juicy targets for me to try to attack. Microsoft uses global data security to ensure that unless you have the role-based permissions, unless you have access permissions, you're not going to be able to see this information. Microsoft is moving into a secure, conscious configuration. They want to make sure that security is something that's cooked right into the operating system, right into the applications. It's not bolted on as an afterthought. We're going to bring in our security expert, Mike Vasquez, and he's going to talk about how System Center Configuration Manager leverages the new security methodology of Microsoft.
Security is an important part of System Center Configuration Manager, and there are a couple of key areas where you want to ensure that your configuration is done properly.